both of them staying up there, not taking part in the battle over the temple, but it looks like that temple again just catapulted Infinity Gaming forward in experience because of the experience they got from bringing those structures down. And it looks like they will meet here in the middle. No, everyone's going to back off. They don't want to fight yet, which is understandable.
For sure. So the laser drill, we've got it, Anna. We've got laser drill again.
Woohoo!
We've also got Judgment from Tyrael, which I mentioned is basically forces Vala to go Rain of Vengeance instead of Strafe, which is there for Vala as well. Probably want to usually take Rain of Vengeance anyway. It's a great way to stun people, get people to stay in a spot, as well as it's another help to try to deal with that Ravenous Spirit from Nazeebo, but just kind of ensuring that you'll have to take it by getting that Tyrael too.
Absolutely. This boss, as you can see, staying uncontested. Nobody wants to try for that boss at this point in the game. That's because, as we mentioned, it's so open. It's very easy to steal. It's also very tough to kill. It has lots of little whirlwinds that circle around it. It can also do the same kind of pushback attack that the Temple Guardians can do. So something that you usually don't want to touch unless you are absolutely positive that someone won't jump on you while you're doing it.
Definitely. That boss is so tough. It can change the game so quickly. So instead, just opting to get some of those safer merc camps until we have the next temples, which is right now.
Yeah, Spade War and Kill You Zion are, of course, close to that top, and both of them have just kind of been running into each other there in the top lane. Looks like Kill You Zion is deciding that he's going to go help his team bottom because they really, really want to get this temple. The Cats want to make sure that they don't lose any more XP or any more buildings to another temple.
Right, so they will have to be careful. They don't have all 5 people now. Shot going down so quickly. Nazeebo is not able to do anything with the Ravenous Spirit. ETC stage dives in. Gonna try to get something done here, but everybody's out of range of the laser drill. Steel Rain getting very low. Gonna have to get away. Thankfully takes the full heal from Rhaegar. And he's gonna hop maybe right back in the fight. Nope, they're gonna try to run away and just get that bottom temple.
This is an example of positioning in lane being very important because although the Cats did have an advantage in terms of having the most people in the lane at the moment where they wanted to be in the temple, the way that the lane was pushed and the way that the Infinity Gaming players were situated made it so they could just kind of zone them out of the way, not let them take this temple and then fall back on it as soon as they finally let off. Although it looks like Kill You Zion will go back to his original post and will take that top temple, at least for now. No one moving in the direction to take it, try to take it from him, but instead it looks like Infinity Gaming perhaps focusing on this boss, feeling like they are boss enough to take the boss and not have it stolen from them. And it looks like Cats Gaming is moving away, not going to contest that, not going to try to steal it.
A very brave boss pick. They're not ahead in talents or anything. But they knew that at least one person was up top, and I guess they could have moved away had they seen that somebody had left that top one. But yeah, they get the boss for their efforts, and Spade War's just hanging out, killing some bruisers, while the rest of them grab the final shots off of the bottom temple and push a little bit with that boss.
I think you're right. It was a brave and a little bit risky boss steal. If Cats had come and tried to contest, it's possible that they really could have turned things around in terms of momentum. But I think that probably Infinity knew that they have got enough of an experience lead and enough of a temple lead, if you will, that even if that boss got stolen, it wouldn't be the end of the game for them. So the risk was maybe worth the reward.
Definitely. Now they're trying to make something happen here. This bridge is so difficult to fight on. Void Prison's going to catch everyone but Scarlet. Scarlet runs back in right away, but is going to drop so quickly. Now Steel Rain is the next trouble. It's going to Judgment. Jordo is trying to save their friend's shot, but he gets taken out as well. Lifeblood getting very, very low, but the shield from Tassadar is going to keep him alive. He's going to run away. Vu is... They're all so low, but I think they're going to be able to take out Spade War without getting anyone else killed. And that is all 5 heroes down for Infinity Gaming. That's huge.
A total team wipe on that bridge, which we have lovingly called the Death Bridge. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and that Apocalypse was such a game changer there because you cannot move away from it. It was just circle on circle on circle, and I think that was the turning point. What do you think?
Yes, Apocalypse on that bridge was absolutely deadly. Engaging on those bridges is the worst. It's so scary to try to push in with that, even when you have the boss fighting for you. And because of that, we've actually got a little bit of an experience lead now for the first time for Cats Gaming.
Yeah, they had to just wait for Infinity Gaming to make a little bit of a mistake, and I think that pushing forward onto that bridge when your opponent is standing at the mouth of the bridge and you are left on the bridge is one of those situations that could be a mistake. If they had just stepped back a few paces and waited for the other team to come to them, they might have fared better. But now we see our teams almost neck and neck with experience as another temple spawns top. It looks like Infinity Gaming is a few steps away. Cats Gaming is ready to get in position. Doesn't necessarily mean it's an advantage, though, when it comes to temples, but they're going to take their time and hide, hopefully jumping out and wreaking havoc on their enemies.
Yeah, they're not even going to go in and try to start it because that means that they'll have Temple Guardians wailing on them. They're just going to wait. They're going to try to catch them. Spade War is going to run in. He's instantly going to take a whole bunch of damage to the face. Void Prison drops down on Scarlet. There comes the Apocalypse. Can it catch anybody? It catches Spade War. Shot is in a great place. It is going to drop the Ravenous. Nobody can really do anything about it. It's going to quickly deal a ton of damage to Vu. Vu's going down so fast. Precious saves the day, though. He runs away. Now we've got Tyrael down and Uther and Zeratul down. The stage dive coming back in, but it's too late. Tassadar is already dead. Spade War was like, but I wanted that kill. Dang it.
We saw Spade War get so low, and if they had managed to take out Spade War early on in that fight, it probably would have turned things around, but Spade War got healed up just at the right moment and was able to come back into the fight at almost full health, if not full health, actually. And they will take that temple, which will put them back in an experience lead, which is exactly what the Cats did not want.
Landing that Ancestral Heal on a tank is basically best case scenario, because that means that it's basically you've got a whole other tank, right? Whoever you Ancestral, you've basically got a whole other one of them, a second chance, if you will. And so doing that on a tank just means that all of that damage that they laid down on a tank was basically for nothing, which is kind of demoralizing.
Right. And now it gives Infinity Gaming the chance to fall back, go back into lanes, grab their bruiser camp, take the advantages that they have been afforded from winning that fight, and we'll see how Cats Gaming will put themselves back in. They're not that far behind in experience, but this map, even when you're a little ways behind, like we said, because things move so fast, it does feel frantically like you've got to do something. So what do you think they're going to do to try to put themselves back in a good position, Gilly?
Well, I think they're going to try to merc. Boss is going to be up in about 15 seconds, and that always changes everything. As long as they keep their lanes pushed, they're really not too far behind structurally and even with experience. So they're just going to try to keep their lanes pushed, get all the experience they can, and get ready for the boss and hope that they can turn it around at boss once again.
They do have bruisers pushing here in the bottom that are doing some nice damage to this bottom lane. Looks like they will try to fight here near the boss, near the Siege Giants, and one will go down for Infinity Gaming.
Tychus was way out of position there, got taken out quickly. Scarlet is going to follow, and then Spade War is got to get out of there. They're going to have to disengage from that in a hurry, and that's going to leave the boss wide open for Cats Gaming. This is a crazy close game, Anna.
It is, and taking this boss is going to, like we said, really change the tide of things. The boss can be kind of a game changer, so I don't know. It looks like Steel Rain and Shot kind of discussing amongst themselves whether they can do anything to contest it. They are moving toward it, so they may try to steal. They may just try to soak in their lane. I don't know if it would be a good idea, but it looks like the boss will go to Cats Gaming and will push on this bottom lane, which is already bleeding out a little bit after that bruiser push.
Yeah, and this is a horrible time for Infinity Gaming to have a boss pushing in on their base because there are also two temples that are going to activate in 10 seconds, and they've still got Rhaegar down for 10 seconds. Tychus is going to be up soon, but they basically just have Nazebo here trying to deal with this until Tyrael can get there. Definitely going to look like they're going to lose that fort, and possibly quite a bit of the temples. They are going to go for this bottom one. There's nobody here right now for Cats, so that's a little bit great for them, but they'll have to split the damage on the boss to do so, so it's definitely going to get that fort.
Yeah, forcing their opponent to take a bad choice. Neither option is great for them. Infinity Gaming needs to be in a million places at one time, and Cats got to kind of sit back, say, we're going to grab our bruisers, we're going to grab this center temple, we're going to do lots of damage, and we're not going to take any damage. So a really good reward for being in the right place at the right time, taking that boss and being able to do it. Although I am a little surprised that they didn't try to do anything to contest this bottom temple. That may be a good decision, as they don't want to lose the lead that they've gotten by getting any unfortunate picks had on them.
I agree with you. It was interesting that they didn't, and I will tell you why. This map is all about knowing who has more structures up and knowing when you need to take risks when it comes to those temples. Now, although the level lead is definitely going in favor of Cats Gaming, the structure lead is still in favor of Infinity Gaming, and structures are everything. Remember that Nazeebo has the mule. They are ahead in structures. They have all their keeps up still, and they can even heal up keeps as well, whereas Cats Gaming just lost their first keep. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to keep in mind. They may need to be a bit more risky in order to deal with that mule that Shot has.
Yeah, they kind of knew that most, or at least a few, of their opponents had to be down there in the bottom lane. So they knew that there was going to be a fight to be had down there. So they could have let just a couple people go take care of the objectives that they wanted to do in the top lane and then maybe contested bottom. Who knows? But it looks like they're going to grab the Siege Giants now and hope they can continue that push in the bottom lane.
A push would be great if they could even it up structure-wise, take some keeps, or even wipe the team again. I think they would be in a great position. ETC in a very funny position, but we've seen this before, the split pushing ETC, and look, he's going to be able to get this next keep and then just stage dive right back when his team needs him. And that's 2 lanes with catapults pushing now.
He's not even going to have to use the stage dive because nobody is there to bother him, so he's just going to be Hearthstone back to base, where the rest of his friends are there defending these dual bruiser pushes in the bottom. The temple does spawn mid, and Cats is in a good position to fall back and take it. Their enemies are close behind.
Man, Cats Gaming's on the clock here. They're going to try to make something happen. They're hiding. They're waiting for Spade War to come in. Here he comes, but he jumps in. He pushes Jimmy back. The Void Prison catches, like everyone. Vala's Rain of Vengeance drops down. Oh, Tychus quickly goes down thanks to the Apocalypse. And now Steel Rain trying to go in. Shot has dropped the Ravenous, but he's already low, and Jordo's just wailing on him with his blades. Nazeebo is down. Jordo's probably down. Yep, he's down too. But only 1 death on the side of Cats Gaming for 3 deaths on Infinity Gaming. That was definitely a trade in the favor of Cats Gaming.
Yeah, I have to say I'm seeing the absence of a second support for Infinity Gaming. Rhaegar doing a fantastic job keeping the rest of his team alive as long as he could, but there's only so much that one healer can do, you know? So eventually they will wilt against the sustainability of the Cats.
Yeah, in picking a second tank too, I mean, with the Tyrael, he does a lot of damage but can't do, you know, an assassin or specialist amount of damage. Spade War actually taking a ton of damage. They're trying to get that temple. Now Scarlet does get the ancestral heal on ETC. Gonna be back in. They really want to get this temple. Having the 2 temples for Cats Gaming is going to be huge. They're jumping in on Jimmy, but they don't have a ton of damage. Jimmy's gonna leave. They might be able to get a few shots from this temple here, and that would definitely help them out. Crazy aggressive and risky for ETC and Scarlet there on the Rhaegar. But they did get those super important last 5 shots from the temple.
Yeah, it looks like Cats will now focus on grabbing their bruisers as well as their Siege Giants. A great idea. While there are no temples up, it looks like maybe Infinity is flirting with the idea of grabbing the boss, which I don't think would be a good idea at this point when their opponents are so close at hand.
I think they're hoping that their opponents are going to come in and they can
maybe
jump them. Let's hope at least. But they do have to deal with those sieges, which is going to show their position a bit. Everyone just sort of posturing, trying to figure out who will be the first to jump in and engage. It could be Tyrael. He's definitely got the sword that he can throw and the judgment as well. But nope, they're just going to back off for a little bit and continue to wait. Nobody wants to start the boss because that's a big boss wailing on them the whole time.
And it's an easy one to steal when the whole team is there. Also wanted to point out that on the core there are catapults, and that's because ETC went up there and killed that that last little top building that could. And now, like you said, because of the structure lead on behalf of Infinity Gaming, Cats needs to be very careful that they don't let too many things touch their core.
But meanwhile, they are still doing work to Infinity Gaming every time. They've taken out ETC and Tyrael, the two tankiest. Scarlet's going to get thrown, cannot execute the Ancestral Heal. Instead is going to die. Shots like backed into a corner. Oh no, he can't get out. Enigma is also going to drop. And once again, Cats Gaming getting the team kill on Infinity Gaming. And they are going for core.
They sure are. They didn't even bother with the boss. They're not going to bother with the siege. They're just going to run and try to right-click this core, which is a great idea because none of their opponents are going to be there for another 20 seconds or so. They have plenty of time to throw themselves against it, as long as they don't let themselves die, which should be doable.
That'll definitely be game at 20 minutes. The core is just not super strong. They're going to be able to take it out. And I think this was a great choice. They knew that it was a ticking time bomb. They only had one heap left. They didn't have Mule. Their opponents had Mule. They could keep things alive. They definitely knew that this was the best option for them. They went for it. And congratulations to Cats Gaming, who will move on to face our other finalists, the Nexus
Globetrotters.
Yeah, Nexus Globetrotters in the finals. Wow.
Wow. What a game. I love Sky Temple. It keeps you awake. Lots going on.
We need that.
So I guess we'll set up for our finals. That will be a best of 3 as well. It will be the Cats that are, wearing hats, that are wild growth and, whatever they are. Those guys, Cats Gaming versus Nexus Globetrotters. We'll see how they face off in the best of 3 finals. Gilly, any thoughts about that last game or what we're about to see?
I really liked the crazy synergy. I'm loving it between Zeratul and Diablo, and I really feel like that fight on the bridge with, when they were Cats Gaming was dealing with the boss, and then they dealt with it, and then they apocalypsed on the bridge. I really think that turned the game for them. It brought them back, enabled them to sort of execute their strategies, their plans to synergize their heroics, and that turned the game for them for sure.
It's also worth noting, like we said, that this was the first team to try not to do a dual support, and it didn't work for them. Not that it couldn't have worked, but it didn't this time, so it's worth noting in the record books.
Definitely worth noting. Well, guys, we will be back as soon as possible to bring you the finals of the HeroesHype Amateur Series Week 4. See you soon! Hello and welcome back to the Heroes Hype Amateur Series. I am Gillyweed and I am joined by Anna Prosser. Hello, Anna Prosser Robinson.
Hello, Gillyweed SC2. It is time for the finals.
It is. So let's do it. We've got the Nexus Globetrotters and they're playing the, we'll say it once, the severely impaired Cats and Hats of Wild Growth Gaming, otherwise known as Cats Gaming here for the purposes of this. So here
Makes me want to sing a musical. Memory,
Exactly.
Cats. No.
So there went the stream. I apologize. We'll get this in just a second. Meanwhile,
they have started the draft. They are on top of it. You can tell that these teams are ready to play the finals. They are going to be on Dragonshire, a map we have seen a ton tonight, and something else we have seen a